you is that you will experience the blessing of God's peace that is greater than any situation that you face. This peace finds its roots in the assurance of your salvation. Paul, in the early parts of the book of Ephesians, spent a fair amount of time describing the confident trust that Christians have because of what Jesus has done for you. Paul says that we used to be slaves. We were fatherless. We were dead in our sin. But then Jesus did something beautiful. He redeemed you. He adopted you. He made you alive spiritually. And nothing can take that away from you. That is the blessing, the blessed assurance of the Christian. And that's the bedrock of God's peace, that his constant faithfulness will be there for you. We also find peace in a contentment in God's calling on your life. All right? Peace is not found in great grades. Peace is not found in a big salary as you enter the workforce. Much of Ephesians that we talked about was all about discovering God's purpose for your life and how you can impact the world. And so, as you move into a new season, instead of going to class, you'll start going to work. Instead of going to parties at college, you'll start going to your kids' birthday parties. Far less exciting, I'm sure. All right. In all of these new adventures that you face, and all of these beautiful gifts that God brings your way, all right, don't look for your ultimate satisfaction in those things. All right? God's peace comes when you find your contentment in Jesus, rather than in situations and in other people. Some of you right now might be scared and uncertain. For the last 4 years, you've been able to answer the question of what's next by just registering for more classes next semester. All right, that's been just your default setting. And now, what's next is uncertain and unknown, and you're not sure what to expect. I want you to rest in the peace of this promise that the same Jesus that brought you here this far is going to continue to carry you forward. So my first blessing for you, like Paul says, that you would come to understand and know this amazing undercurrent of God's peace and contentment in your life. And that's really the blessing for all Christians, not just our graduates today. Second of all, Paul says he doesn't just want us to experience the blessing of God's peace, but my second blessing is that you will understand the deep, deep love that God has for you. This is really the foundation for your faith and future. Over the last 4 years, I have said over and over again in my sermons this one thing, and that one thing is this. The truest thing about you is that you are deeply loved by Jesus Christ. And I keep saying it over and over again because it's true, and also because some of you, it just takes 4 years for that to sink in, all right? You are deeply and wonderfully loved by Jesus Christ. It's a love, as we talked about earlier, that adopted us. You know, I love you guys. I've built wonderful relationships with many of you, but I'm not about to adopt you. Right? That would just be a little weird if I adopted you. But that's what Jesus does. He loves us so much. He adopts us. He invites us into his family. He's made us a part. And the Bible says this wasn't kind of a spur of the moment kind of a thing. He sees you, he's like, oh, poor guy, I'll invite you into my family. The Bible says that he's been thinking about you for a long, long time. Before you were even born, you've been on the line of God. He's wanted you, and he's had a plan for you. That's the kind of love that Jesus offers. It's a love that stirs your dead heart alive. He saw you in your brokenness and in your aloneness, and he said that he wanted to make you his own. Again, the book of Ephesians has laid this out over and over again. Look at these verses. We have our verses up in Ephesians 3, 17 to 19. We read this that Paul says earlier. So that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you, being rooted and grounded in love, may have strength to comprehend with all the saints what is the breadth and length and height and depth, and to know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled with all the fullness of God. That's the kind of love that I want you to experience. That deep, amazing, abiding love of Jesus Christ. It's a love that sacrifices for us. Paul mentions that in Ephesians 5, verse 2. It says that we should walk in love, just as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us, a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. It's a love, and this is important, let this one sink in. love that is not dependent on your actions. There's nothing you can do or fail to do that will make God love you more or less than he already does. Sometimes you will feel, your heart will be broken by human relationships, but Jesus' love will remain. Sometimes you will fail to follow Christ's commands like you ought to, but he will still love you in those moments. You see, I can't really pray that God will bless you with more of his love, because his love is limitless and unfathomable. But I can pray a blessing on you that you will understand his love a little bit more every day than you do right now. Blessing number one, I want God to bless you with his peace as you move into a new season. Blessing number two, I want God to bless you with a deeper understanding of his love. And my last blessing for you is one that Paul mentions as well. May you be blessed with God's grace. May it be evident in your life. At the end of Ephesians, he says that may grace be with all who love our Lord Jesus Christ. May God's grace be evident in your life. Grace is like a special kind of kindness that God gives to us that we don't deserve, all right? It's his blessings in our lives. But it's not something that we earn. You know, if you come to work for me, and I say that I will pay you $10 an hour, and you work for 10 hours, I owe you $100. As I write you a check, that's not me being gracious, that's me paying you what's owed, right? To Lock Haven University, when you graduate on Friday or Saturday, whenever you graduate, as they hand you your diploma, it's not them saying, you know what, you didn't really deserve this, but we're going to do this anyway, right? No, you've worked hard, you put in the time, you've paid the money. On the contrary, grace is like this. If I owed you $100 and you said to me, Pastor Josh, I know things are a little tough for you right now. Don't worry about it. Your debt is forgiven. It'd be like if you got a call from the financial aid department at Lock Haven University tomorrow, and they said, for some reason, the president took a liking to you, and all your student loans are forgiven. You don't have to pay them back. Wouldn't that be nice? I don't expect that to happen. All right? But that's what grace is. Grace is God's favor, undeserved, anything that we've done. And there's going to be 1,000 ways that God is going to pour out his future grace into your life. You can look back on your life and see all kinds of beautiful past grace, but you have the hope now of future grace. All kinds of future grace. The grace of finding a spouse someday, the grace of raising children, the grace that you will need as you deal with difficult co-workers, in seasons of loss in your life, God's grace will be there with you, and in beautiful life experiences. My prayer is that as people observe your life, they will see a man or a woman completely dependent on the grace of God. Grace cuts out pride and arrogance. Grace keeps you humble and grateful. Those are my three blessings. I want God to bless you with his peace, especially this coming week as you're all nervous and upset, but we're fine. And I pray that God will bless you with his love and a deeper understanding of his love every single day. And I want God to bless you with his grace. May God's grace be evident in your life. And I've got one thing I want you to do in return. All right? My one request for you, again, is found in verse 24. Grace be with all who love our Lord Jesus Christ with love incorruptible. Stay in love with Jesus. There's nothing else I can leave you with. That's my one thing. I just want you to love Jesus with all of your heart. All right? If you don't remember anything else from your whole 40 years from Commonplace, just remember that. Stay madly in love with Jesus. The word incorruptible means never diminishing. Like, I want your love for Jesus just to grow more and more and more every day. Whatever spark was ignited in your soul during your time here at the Commonplace, continue to fan that into life. All right? You've got an enemy to your soul who will do whatever he can to diminish that love, to put that fire out, to make you fall out of love, but don't let him. The place where your love for God dwells is a sacred space in your soul, all right? So take care of it. Guard it well. I recently heard a story of an old story about this town in the Swiss Alps. And this town in the Alps hired a man to go up, and they gave him a job. And the job was called, he was to be the keeper of the spring. And basically what happened is every spring in the mountain, as the snow melted, the rivers, or I'm sorry, the headwaters would start to pour down into this town, and his job was to go clean out the sticks and the debris and anything that might have cluttered up those headwaters, all right? And as a result of his work, and he did this very well, the water that flowed down into the town, into this Swiss Alp town, was beautiful, clear, crystal clear water. People were healthy. There was commerce thrived as the mills ran with regularity. It was a place where tourists would come to enjoy their summers. The town flourished, all right? And then one year, as the city council got together, as city councils often do, and they went over the budget, someone noticed that they were paying this man no one had ever met. They weren't sure what he did. That there was a line item called the keeper of the spring. And so, like all city councils, they want to be good with their money, right? So they said, you know what, we don't know what this guy's doing. Let's just eliminate that line item. And so they took a vote, and unanimously they fired him, even though no one really knew him. He lived in the mountains, and he did his job quietly, but with excellence. And for about a week or two, everything was fine. But then the villagers began to notice some things. They noticed that the water started to have a funny smell to it. They noticed that it was like some slime was growing on the rocks, and the mill started to turn more slowly because the water was more slow, and it got a kind of an orange tint to it, and it just was not right. And as a result, the commerce slowed, the town did not flourish like it did, and people started to get sick. The city council didn't know what to do, so they quick scrambled back together. They tried to retrace their steps and figure out what went wrong. Someone realized that it all started when they fired the keeper of the spring. So quickly they hired him back, and thankfully took his job back, and began to clear the springs once more, the headwaters. And in a month or so, the waters cleared up, and it was fresh again. And you could drink the waters, and the smell went away, and the town began to flourish, and commerce thrived once again. Did you know this was an illustration? I didn't think you really cared about this town was Selton, right? Your life is that spring, and your soul is the headwaters for your life, all right? And as you leave, all right, don't let the enemy move in during this transition. Healthy spirituality, your flourishing as a human, as a child of God, is directly related to how well you care for your soul and how much you love Jesus Christ in your life. For the last 4 years, you've been a little bit in a wonderful space as you've come to the commonplace. Maybe you've been involved in Bible studies. You've got friends who hold you accountable. And pretty soon that's going to be gone, right? You're going to move out of that into a new space. And during these times of transitions, it's important that you care for your soul. It's okay. You have my blessing to go find a new church. You don't have to commute every Sunday hours to get to the commonplace, all right? Their coffee will not be as nice as ours. I understand that. Their pastor will not be nearly as clever, all right? But find a good church to call your home, all right? If you love Jesus, and you've got to love his family, and that is the church. So go find a new church to be a part of. Plug into that church and serve well. Develop a new network of friends who will help hold you accountable. There's going to be 1,000 competing forces for the affections of your heart. Make sure that you keep Jesus as number one. You see, our love for Jesus is what motivates our deepest relationships with other people. It will give priority to your life. It will give you stamina in difficult situations. It turns your weaknesses into strength. And it gives our occupations meaning and purpose. So commonplace. Love Jesus deeply and tell others what he has done for you. Be missionaries. Be his ambassadors in this world. Those are my 3 blessings and requests. May God grant you his peace. May you know his love more and more. May you be filled with the grace of God in your life. And may you continue to love Jesus deeply. Sam, would you come on up? I'm going to ask Sam to come up. And I just want to ask anybody who's graduating, would you come on up here too? We want to pray for you today. We're not going to do anything weird or scary to you, all right? Don't worry. We just want to recognize that you've been an important part of the commonplace for the last few years. And so we're going to pray for you. Ask God to give you his blessing. Oh, there's too many of you.
As you guys line up, maybe come down a little bit more here. I would love to, is it okay if I just have them share their name and the major that you're graduating, the degree that you're graduating with, however you want to say that. Yeah, so we'll start over here. And
I'm Nicole. I'm graduating as a pre-physician assistant.
I'm Lexi, same as her.
I'm Amelia, and I'll be graduating with recreation management.
I'm Brett, and I'm graduating with secondary education physics.
I'm Roman, and I'm graduating as a traditional physics major.
I'm Casey, and I'm graduating as a physics major.
I'm Eric, sociology major.
I'm Marie, health and physical education.
I'm Kyle, in health and physical education.
all right. So what we're gonna do is I want to pray over you guys. At the end of the prayer, Paul has a prayer to the Ephesians that I think is just perfect. All right, but this is where you guys come in. During our prayer, obviously, I would love for you to pray along with me and just pray blessings upon these seniors who've been with us. Some of them since freshman year, and just means so much to us. Our Commonplace Church, what it is today, would not be what it is without them. But after the prayer, okay, this will be really important. I'll say, all right, everyone, this is your 2017, or wait, let's see, how would we say this? This is your Commonplace Church class of 2017. And at that point, I want you guys to just explode with cheers, okay? So get up out of your chairs and just yell and be excited for them, okay? All right, so, but just wait for your cue. All right, let's all pray. Father, I thank you for these individuals on this stage. But Father, it's just a proof that you are a God who provides, you are a God who guides, you are a God who gives us good things like education, like the sciences and medicine and sociology, and ways that we can learn more about your world in order to serve it better, bring glory to you, and love to others. And I thank you that these students on this stage have been faithful to that calling to be students. It has not been easy, but Father, you've been with them every step of the way. Every late night, every good and bad grade. Father, I thank you that they have not quit. They have pushed through. And so, Father, as they move on from this place here today, I pray that they would find favor with future employers, with new communities in which they move into, with landlords who are merciful with them as they are starting off on their own. That they would have favor with their family members, whether they're moving back home or they're moving further away. Father, I pray for their relationships that are yet to be started in these new places that they're going. May you also just bless those relationships. Allow them to not only find people who take care of them and care for them, but find people who they can love and show the love of Jesus. And Father, I also pray for opportunities. It's so hard starting off brand new in a job or a workplace or a school or in a community. But Father, I pray that opportunities would just doors would be open to them, so that they can walk through and continue to be faithful in their calling after college. And so, Father, together we join in the prayer of the Apostle Paul that he had for every believer. For this reason I kneel before the Father, from whom every family in heaven and on earth derives its name. I pray that out of his glorious riches he may strengthen you with power through his Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power together with all the Lord's holy people to grasp how wide and long and deep and high high is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to the power that is at work within us. To him be the glory in the church and in Christ Jesus throughout all generations, forever and ever. Amen. So friends, here is your Commonplace Church class of 2017. Let's hear it for them. Worship team, you may come.
You can just remain standing as we continue in worship.